What's up, Descendants? Now, we have tons of information that's just been loaded on us. And one of those things has been the silhouette for the new Descendant that's going to be coming into the game. Now, they are starting to tease her, which I'm actually pretty excited about. We also have the 1.0.7 details, so we're going to go over that as well. But first things first, we got to look at this, okay? So it goes to say the new Descendant is armed with Cold Fury and is ready to strike. What do you think is her greatest strategy? Now, with that, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna tell you guys off rip, I don't know who this is. But what I can say is that it's obvious that this is going to be a unit with a sniper of some sort or like a rocket launcher. I'm not really too sure what that is. It looks like a sniper though. Now, of course, the other thing that I think that they kind of hinted at was with the emoji that they actually used, which is hinting at the fact that this is another ice unit coming into the game. Now, currently, the only ice unit that we have is Ultimate Viessa, or just Viessa period. So that would be adding a second ice unit into the game. And I'm actually kind of interested to see like what the varying differences would be, because if she is going to be coming into the game with like sniper potential, this means that she's going to be probably really potent or really strong against weak points. And that's one of the areas that when you're looking at Viessa can do amazing things bossing, but I don't feel like she's like, necessarily like the top type of like nuker, right? For example, like I think she just does things extremely well across the board, and you can use her for a many of things. If you want to farm, if you do want to boss, she just offers you a lot of utility, versus like this character potentially could be coming into the game probably with a different boss, of course, to maybe even counteract or to go up against, to make her more useful, but it's going to essentially be something like that. I feel like so that is probably going to be one of the things that she brings to the table. She might also be another viable DPS that does well against gluttony. So I don't really know what exactly, they potentially could be doing with her kit. But all I'm going to say is if you guys haven't gotten your afterglows done, I would suggest doing so, because she might also have abilities from the looks of it that could potentially buff, snipers and stuff like that. So if we're talking about like buffing those types of guns already, and those guns are already hitting millions of damage, I mean, we could be seeing like an astronomically strong Descendant coming into the game. So I'm actually pretty excited. I think everyone was talking about prior to it was going to be Scar. And now they looped us. I think, hey guys, listen, this is all I'm gonna say. I think every time we think something's going to happen, they're going to rotate it and probably shift it to something else. So again, there was a couple of different, comments from some of you guys though. There's somebody that's like sniper though. Somebody says super ultimate Viessa, which I think is kind of funny actually. And then you have one person that actually shared a picture here where it goes to say Dominique. And the thing about this too, somebody actually makes a comment under it. It says we can dream, but if they are a Descendant, it'll tell us in the bio on the screen. That's also what I thought, but who knows? There could be people that could become Descendants maybe. I don't know. Like they could decide to do something along the lines of that. But this is the only character that I do recall seeing like that was an NPC that, for example, had a sniper in her hand. Just wasn't that freaking big. So that's another thing like that I'm just kind of like, okay, well, what could we really be getting here? But yeah, it looks cool nonetheless. And again, it's really sick that they're starting to tease these things. All right, so let's get into 1.0.7. I know some of you guys are excited for the things that have been implemented into the game. And we're going over this because this is what officially has been implemented. So this has already happened. Now, what they've gone and done is they basically, for content itself, if you do not select abort or continue during the interim review in special operations, abort is selected automatically. They lowered the difficulty of mechanics in the hard intercept battles, the Frost Walker. So for those of you guys that were having difficulty with this, it's now easier. Destroying frenzy parts will now generate 2 embers, and so that's going to just make it much easier for doing the flame phase. They increased the maximum threshold of the frenzy gaze, reducing the number of times of the Colossus becoming frenzied. speed. And then when using slug shots to Frenzy Colossus, its leg movements will be reduced, making it easier to aim at its weak point. So that is another big thing. Like, I think that was like the biggest nuance and just annoyance of the boss, is that we had to sit there and try to hit its legs. I feel like over time we kind of sort of got better at it, but it didn't change the fact of how annoying it actually is. Now, they have also here characters will no longer receive damage when they are in a hazardous area once the Void Intercept battle ends, which is huge because that literally could kill you at the end of the fight when you're just trying to collect your rewards and you basically beat the boss, right? Now, of course, when Molten Fortress is defeated, the lava on the ground is removed, and then when Swamp Walker is defeated, disease status effect is now removed immediately. So that's a W. Now, the restart function of Void Intercept battles, special operations, and infiltration operations is now separated into two types. Start with the current squad and restart the mission. And the time available with start with the current squad is also increased to 60 seconds. That's nice because I think it was like less than that. It was like 20 seconds or something like that. And so that would like immediately start. So you're trying to collect your Amorphous and all that extra jazz. And then you're already like now having to teleport back to restart because the timer's over. So it's actually really good that they fix that. Now, they also, the display animation for amorphous material when using reconstructing device has been simplified, letting you quickly check the materials, which is good. So probably when we hover over it, it'll tell us what we have, and then we can just go in and click what we want, right? So we'll see what that looks like in game. Now, the field, okay? So the Echo Swamp, the Derelict Covert, Void Fragment, Toxic monsters will now spawn faster. So we'll see. People might start farming this now. Now, the HP of monsters in the Void Fusion reactors have been reduced, and they will now drop more ammo and recovery orbs when you defeat them. This is another big thing that a lot of us were waiting for. It was kind of a task fighting these, especially when you're trying to like burn through them, get through them as fast as possible. It just felt like they were making it more tedious than it had to be, because again, you had to basically teleport back and get HP back, get ammo back, all that jazz after you beat the boss. So it's nice that they have done that, right? Now, they've done some things with the Battle Pass. I guess this is for those of you guys that are trying to clear out the shop. So they identified an issue where the requirements for the Battle Pass Week 6 challenge, wouldn't it hurt if my rifle fired harder, were not met retroactively. We changed the requirements to enhancing rifle enforcement to level 3. So with that, they also reduced the difficulty of weekly challenges for the Battle Pass Week 7 and 8, and also increasing the amount of reward, XP, and supply coins. So I'm hoping that that kind of balances out, or is that, I guess, supposed to be like kind of the fix for what we missed? Because yeah, I was talking to actually the one of my teammates that I usually run with, that we were kind of missing out on that. So hopefully they actually have that set up in that way so that we're able to make up that difference, or otherwise they just give us whatever it is that we missed. So now, UI and UX fixes, okay? I know one of the big ones here, when selecting all additional options in heart infiltration operations, all the options will remain selected even if you change the additional options. They also changed the grappling hook disabled and jump disabled for the hard missions as well. For heart infiltration operations have been just completely removed. There's just literally no point in having them because they like literally counterproductive to just the game. You can now check the tooltip for the amorphous material icons in the chain selectable reward screen in heart infiltration operations. Tooltips for equipment now show up faster. Equipment operation tiers are now displayed on the icon. They set the effects of eternal components are now displayed on the icons as well. In module acquisition info, you can now check whether a module can be acquired via combining. The modules that can be acquired via combining are hardline suppression, shot focus, and shield collector. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't know this, but I want to actually mention this. There are some, thank you for the follow there, but there are some modules that exist in the game, and we were under the impression that you could just, combine some, like all modules. There are actually some that you can't can. So there's some that you can, and there's some that you can't. I think, for example, like Enzo's modules, I'm pretty sure you have to get his from encrypted vaults. Then, for example, like with these are ones that you have to get via combining, right? So like it's definitely really interesting for some of the ones that we probably have noticed on our accounts that we either have or don't have. But just to kind of give you that information, I feel like it's super important. So in the module acquisition info, it looks like they might have typoed that. So it looks like, okay, yeah, they typed that twice. Okay, cool. So in the consumables menu for the library, you can now see the amount of consumables you currently have. When receiving all lost and found items, if there is not enough inventory space, you can now only receive in according to the remaining space, which is nice. So there's some quality of life. And when the unique abilities of an ultimate weapon permanently change the weapon's default performance, you can now check the changes on the basic info screen, which is nice because then that means you don't have to go deeper into the interface to be able to see what changes, like if it's your crit rate and things of that nature. Now, of course, with that, what we also have is some changes for Descendants. So they fixed the amount of recovery displayed on the skill tooltip for Eugen so that it matches the improvements made to his recovery amount in 1.0.6. By overhauling the formula of Eugen's recovery skill, the amount of recovery has been slightly increased for skill level 4, which is huge because I'm not gonna lie, I've already seen some Eugens doing some crazy, doing some crazy stuff. So if they went and they buffed that, I mean, sure, like I guess so. So we'll see what that's looking like. Now it says you can also gain weapon proficiency when defeating an enemy with the unique weapon with Luna stage presence, and this was a big thing that I was actually just talking about this yesterday because it was making her kind of pointless to use for farming. So now Luna can actually be used. This is like kind of the same ordeal with like Bunny, for example, like just her holding the gun and the electricity hitting, she's farming proficiency, which would make sense, I guess. If she's using the unique weapon, then she should still be farming proficiency for the gun that she just transformed. And then, of course, for the guns that's sitting in the 2 slots at that 20 percentile, right? So, again, really nice. Now, of course, with that, it says you can now acquire Luna's noise surge modification module in the hard intercept battle executioner. So they made it, it looks like a little bit easier to be able to get that. Yeah. I'm not mad at that. I'm really not mad at that because Noise Surge, I think, was, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the DPS module for her because I think Nimble Footsteps is the, oh no, I'm thinking of something else. Is it Nimble Footsteps? Or is it something? No, actually Noise Surge might be the regular one. I don't know. I mixed up both of the names because I think they both start with an N. But either way, there's another mod now being added to Executioner to make it easier to acquire, which I guess is kind of okay, considering that people are still struggling with gluttony. So yeah, that is definitely, I guess, a W, I guess, there, right? Now, of course, outside of that, they got some miscellaneous stuff for like some UI fixes for AMD frames, all that jazz. I'm not going to go too deep into that. And then they also had some bug fixes. They fixed the issue where Bunny's throw bomb skill did not hit nearby enemies when she was equipped with high voltage. So that now should be performing correctly. Now Luna Dance, there was an issue where Luna danced while holding her gun when she used an enhanced skill with Noise Surge module. I guess they fixed that. They fixed the issue where Luna's facial graphics were intermittently rendering incorrectly. I don't know what that was, but if it was, it probably looked crazy. Now they fixed the issue where Sharon could cancel her skill, mouse right click, controller LT after she, even after she fired the flash short sword skill during ending motions. They fixed the issue where the equipped range module could not change the skill description of Ultimate Lepic and Lepic's traction grenade. And then they also fixed the issue where the equipping a range module would not expand the effect of Lepic's traction grenade, which is huge, right? Because a lot of people are using these characters, so those are some pretty solid fixes. Now they also fixed some module stuff, which again, very important. Fixed the issue where the display of firearm critical hit rate was switched to skill critical hit rate in the 4-piece set effect tooltip for the external component Acrobat set effects. Okay, so that's actually pretty big to know, right? So it's actually affecting your gun. and not skill, right? So then on top of that, they also fixed the issue where the tooltip for the spiral tidal wave skill module omitted a description saying attracts gluttony impurities. Did they also fix the fact that it was called absolute zero for a while? Like, am I bugging? Like, that's like, yeah, I hope they fixed that too. Now they fixed the issue in the intercept battles where two players could remove parts of the same at the same time when using the mid-air maneuvering sub module. Now this might be some tech that people were probably messing around with. So it looks like they went and I guess patched that. Now as far as the field, okay, the good old field, man. So they fixed the issue with the support drone and Echo Swamp outpost did not function properly. They fixed the issue where the Void Fragment reward would let you receive all 4 kinds of charge was changed from 4333 to 3333. I don't know. Like, I mean, did it matter? Probably not, but I guess they went and changed that. But they fixed the issue in the laboratory where effects activated when defeating an enemy. Skills or unique effects for ultimate weapons could still occur even when the Vulgus invincibility was enabled, which I guess that's just going to be better for us when we're making videos for you guys. And then some of the missions, okay? So they fixed some of these with basically we're being tasked with collection for the Fortress Infiltration Operations Quarantine Zone and Heart of the Fortress with 4-member party could intermittently cause a champion monster to not spawn, making it impossible to acquire the balanced plasma battery. So they fixed that, so now you can run that with your full party. Increase the monster kill score for the infiltration operation, the Haven. Fix the issue where it was impossible to reach the perfect score when increased options to 240%. And that was something I was wondering. It was like it was literally impossible to hit the max score for that, and now they fixed that. They fixed an issue in the Heart infiltration operation unknown laboratory where players reaching a no resurrection zone in advance could cause other players to not be teleported to the no resurrection zone. Didn't see that one, but that's something nice they fixed. Fixed an issue where a melee enemy would intermittently stop moving and not pursue players. Now, of course, with that, guys, they also show this in the 1.0.7, just kind of confirming everything and showing again that we have this brand new unit coming into the game. Again, I'm extremely excited. I feel like this was a excellent freaking hotfix. There's a lot of changes, a lot of things that they're doing. I'm hoping that they do address more of the things that some of us have been looking forward to and or want in the game. So let me know how you guys feel. I feel like there's a lot jam-packed into every hotfix that they do. And I'm hoping that we kind of get more into the module socketing and things of that nature as we push forward. And we kind of start to see some things that are officially going to be coming into the game. So again, GG, the First Descendant team. Let me know what it is that you guys would still like to see changed in the comment section down below. But everybody, stay blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.